Hello, this is Jcamera here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the LEGO Harry Potter set from 2002, numbered 4733, titled Dueling Club. The set was released to coincide with the release of the movie Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, coming out in 2002, same year as the set. So, we have the instructions. We get this, of course, cool font. I usually talk about this with every single one of these LEGO Harry Potter set reviews. They got really good art, like behind the castle you get like the forest and the mountains and all that it resides in. I don't know if I pointed that particular detail out before. Let me know if I have, but regardless, we got the Harry Potter logo, LEGO logo, the set number, and the medieval castle background with the night sky, which looks really cool, and the paper on top of the bricks in medieval style, like very old and dusty. We get the minifigures assembled, and then we go from build smallest to biggest, side build to main build. And that's kind of it for these sets. After that, that's it. We get like the advertisement for the 2001 and 2002 LEGO Harry Potter sets and website recommendations. I think, do they even have like special numbers? I know the 2001 sets did. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't recall seeing any of that. I don't know if this is my first Chamber of Secrets Harry Potter set, so I don't know if they actually do have set numbers, but this one doesn't, in case anyone actually wanted to know. And up here, I got a couple of the posters that came out this wave. This one here is showing off the 2002 wave of LEGO Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets with a couple of Philosopher's Stone sets thrown in. Like we got Snape's classroom and the Hogwarts castle, and featured the Great Hall and the Gryffindor Tower and library. Also the trains in the background, but you barely notice it. There's also a couple other things that were Sorcerer's Stone, but they either came out that year or came out as part of the Chamber of Secrets wave, like the Quidditch set and the Troll on the Loose set. And then flipping that over, you get an advertisement for all the sets that came out that wave, as well as a few sets from the 2001 wave. My copy shows the 2003 sets, which are just two sets in the middle right here, about diagonally. This set, by the way, is going to be my next LEGO review, so stay tuned for that. But there was another variant of this poster that didn't have these two and featured, I think, most of the sets from the Sorcerer's Stone wave, or Philosopher's Stone if you're not American, except Hagrid's hut. And down here we get an advertisement for the LEGO Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets creator game. So, for my posters, my wall, my room, and videos and all that, the Philosopher's Stone is out and the Chamber of Secrets is in. Now, we shall take a look at the minifigures. First up, we have the boy who lived himself, Harry Potter, in his usual Gryffindor Hogwarts student attire. This figure is exactly the same as the figure seen in the Year 1 The Philosopher's Stone set. No changes at all. Though that's not really any different from today, because the Harry Potter figure from Year 1 and Year 2 has no changes. It's exactly the same. Same hair, head, torso, arms, hands, hips, legs, etc. I mean, compared to this figure, there's changes, like the hair is different and the skin tones and colors and everything, but within those sets, they don't change what they did in Year 1 and 2. Yeah, they do in future years, but I'll get to that if I do ever get to the Prisoner of Azkaban sets. I don't know if I will. I'm making no promises, but if I do, I will comment on that. Basically, just copy and paste everything I said about this figure in previous videos and apply it here. I will say, though, that with the 2002 sets, with like eBay, online, and shopping and all that, I don't know if it's just me, but the quality of the torsos seems to be much better. Maybe it's because these sets didn't sell as well, so it was harder to screw them up. I don't know what it is. That's my only guess, but regardless, it does make him look a lot better. This figure appeared in 3 sets in this wave, including this set. He also appeared in Dumbledore's office and the flagship set, the Chamber of Secrets, as well as, I believe, 4 sets for the Philosopher's Stone wave with Final Challenge, Chamber of the Winged Keys, Troll on the Loose, and Flying Lesson. And of course, he comes with the cool Starry Cape, which looks cool. Again, not much new to say. Just new stuff to say in context of Chamber of Secrets sets. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. The next minifigure is Draco Malfoy. I have even less to say about him. He is of about the same quality as the Philosopher's Stone Draco minifigures that I see online and I've received. Maybe a little bit better, but that's not saying much. I mean, they're both still great, but much better than the Gryffindor minifigures. They hold up a lot better. This figure is pretty much, again, like Harry. See my other videos, copy and paste what I said about the figure there. In context of the Chamber of Secrets sets, he appeared twice, with this set and the Slytherin set, or Slytherin Common Room, the scene with Harry. I'll fill you in when we get to that set review. I'm sure I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about anyway. And he comes with a black wand, like he did in other sets. And in the Philosopher's Stone sets, he appeared in the Hogwarts Castle and Flying Lesson. He appeared 4 times, while Harry appeared, I want to say 7. Not as common as Harry, but he's a pretty easy minifigure to get. The penultimate minifigure of the set is Severus Snape, Professor Snape, Alan Rickman, however you want to say it. This is the only Snape that came out within these waves that actually included a wand, so that's new. And it's a dark grey one, which I think is pretty fitting with his character, I'd say. Again, same figure as before. He's not quite as common. He only appears in 3 sets as opposed to 4 or 7 like the rest. Well, like with Harry and Draco. Because there's another minifigure that I'll get to next that is exclusive. This is the only set he actually appeared in 2002. The only one for Chamber of Secrets. He appeared in 2 sets for the Philosopher's Stone with Snape's Potions Classroom and the Hogwarts Castle. He has a plain cape. He, for some reason, has a glow-in-the-dark head and, like, light grey skin. Because I guess he was fairly pale, especially in the books. He is described to be, like, glow-in-the-dark, kind of. Obviously, J.K. Rowling didn't mean that literally. But that's sort of the vibe that LEGO was going for. And they're basing these minifigures off of concept art when the movies came out, so that may have something to do with it. Besides, in the case of the first line of sets, it was to make you think he was the bad guy, even though that was Professor Quirrell. Adina said, I guess sort of similar, even though he doesn't play nearly as big of a role in Chamber of Secrets, both the book and the movie. But I guess, sure, you can think of him as the bad guy, but the real villain of the sets is probably the next minifigure. And that would be the fabulous Gilderoy Lockhart, or Professor Lockhart, who is exclusive to the set. The character appears in one other set, the Chamber of Secrets, but this actual outfit he wears, these robes, only appear in this set. This green robes, which I think he wore during the Quidditch match in the movie. He kind of had a green cape in the movie, but it was like not sort of a knight outfit, but like a more duelish outfit with greys and like a glove on one hand. The modern set actually does that, but here they just went with the Quidditch outfit, maybe because it was easier to do, or it looked cooler, or concept art again. Not complaining, just commenting. A plain green cape, plain back torso printing, really cool gold printing on the torso with buttons and little details on the crest, and a white scarf. I don't know if it's a scarf, just underneath the shirt. And fun fact, this was the first minifigure to use this hairpiece, this wavy, good-looking guy hairpiece. It was actually made for the minifigure. After that, we would see this with Robin, Remus Lupin, maybe some other figures. This wasn't a terribly common hairpiece, and I think is retired, which is a shame, because this is a great hairpiece, and I wish this would appear much more. Although, here's the minifigure without the hair. He has no backprinting, but a really great smirk. Some cheekbones that do make him a bit older, but to be fair, for Harry Potter actors, the adults were a lot older than the characters. Some of them were about right, and in the case of Dumbledore, much, much younger, but a lot of them were, like, at least a decade older. But regardless, here's the minifigure. My favourite, the most unique. I do prefer the minifigure in the Chamber of Secrets set, but this is still a good alternative if you can't afford that set. And it makes sense he's here. He's not necessarily a villain. He's more of an antagonist. But he's like the one running the Dueling Club and all that, and he's secretly being a fraud behind everyone's back, and I won't spoil the ending of Chamber of Secrets if you haven't seen it. And he comes with a tan wand, the same as Hermione. What's interesting is that in the Chamber of Secrets set, he comes with, I think, a dark orange wand or something. I don't know if it's dark orange, but it's a different color. I'll get to that when I get to that set, but I just thought about it, and I think it's interesting to at least point out. And I'll also say that out of all the LEGO Harry Potter minifigures from this era, Gilderoy Lockhart is one of the most expensive. In fact, his other variant, the sand red one in the Chamber of Secrets, might be the most expensive one. And this is apparently the cheap alternative. Wow. When this guy appears to be like $30 to $40 if you're lucky. Many minifigures are like $10. First up, we have the dueling table that you can use. This is the side build. It's pretty blocky, under-detailed. It's meant to be the tables of the Great Hall, but you probably wouldn't know that if you haven't seen the movies or read the books. Fun fact, in the books, it wasn't just a one-on-one with Harry and Draco. It was actually several students. In fact, it was pretty much everyone there, like doing 1v1s. But it was too expensive to film, and they probably just didn't have the space for it, and you have to condense things in the movie, so I get why they cut it. So you can stand minifigures within these elevated trapdoor pieces. They're supposed to be on here, but you can put them there if you don't want to lose them, or if you're carrying this and they fall off too easily, just like that. You see these levers here. Well, what you don't see is these Technic bits that, when you flip it over, will flip over this. This is also a very easy build. I was surprised of how plain this was. I mean, getting things over and done with quicker is nice, but just wanted to know. To be fair, it makes it more cost efficient, which LEGO really needed back then. So that's nice, and it's not like you're going to see it or anything. It makes things simple. And for a lot of people, possibly more fun, I'd say, yeah, I guess so. And you can also separate the two tables, because they're connected by Technic pins here and here. There you go. So you see there's like holes here and pins here. And what you do, because I'm filming with a hand, so I only have one hand available, you can just push this back like so. And there you go. So you can have like different spells here with Draco and Harry. It doesn't necessarily have to be them though. You can have Gilderoy Lockhart and Snape, like when they're first demonstrating, and make Snape look cool, or Alan Rickman look cool, and Lockhart look like a fool. That actually rhymed. I did not intend that. But you could have, like, Expelliarmus. Terrible Alan Rickman impression, but you get the idea. And then you get the Hogwarts Castle expansion piece. You get these really thick pillars. I think they may have been in the Hogwarts Castle, like the Great Hall. I might have to check up on that, though. You get a little potion tile. Maybe it's for more spells. And this is, like, meant to be sort of shiny silver. I don't know if it's just the pieces that I've gotten, but they've usually turned out pretty crappy. And you get a barrel that's meant to store the different ones, so you can have anyone use the 4 ones. Maybe that's why they just had it like that for Lockhart, because it's not even meant to be his. And maybe that's why Snape even has one at all, because it's not meant to be his and he was never meant to have one. But it's the thought that counts. The instructions show the characters having a wand, and a lot of people show them with wands, so I'm going to do the same. Here we get a spinning chair, so you can have maybe Lockhart sitting on this like a throne. Maybe you could have this as somewhat of an expansion to the Great Hall. You can have like Dumbledore with his chair, and then any of the teachers with their own chair. I mean, because it's only 2 chairs, that'd be weird, but that's the thought that counts. Because of the capes, you will have to either keep an open mind when you destroy the capes when sitting them down, or just take the capes off if you don't want to ruin them, like me. Back here, we get a snake, which is meant to be when Draco fires that snake spell at Harry towards the end of the scene. So, I will say getting the snake on here is a little tricky, but taking him out is pretty easy. So you can have, like, the snake here, Harry here, all scared, I don't know, and then, or cool, whatever. And maybe he's doing parcel tongue, and then Draco is, like, the one firing it, and then Snape just comes in to destroy it. That's the impression I get, anyway. Maybe it's just meant to be Slytherin representation, or to remind people this is Chamber of Secrets, because that's the book that features snakes. Like, it's about snakes. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it's very hard to do it. I had to pause it, and even then it took, like, not a minute or anything. It took under a minute, but maybe exactly a minute, who knows, but still. And we get some sand green studs, which I'm pretty sure are very rare, so if you're picking up this set, be mindful of that. You get some flames here, you get lion heads, possibly connecting it to the Great Hall, or maybe it's Gryffindor representation, because it's the most prominent house, and to counteract the snake. Speaking of Hogwarts houses, we get banner featuring all 4 of the houses, which is a rarity, because according to these sets, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw do not exist, although the same can be said for Harry Potter in general. And then, yeah, we get reminded that these are the 2 most prominent, with the snake and these, and the fact that Draco and Harry are the only students here. In fact, we never get any students for Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw sets, but that's beside the point. Up here, we have a brown owl, just there for show, because these sets love their animals, even though I guess the snake isn't enough. And then we get connector points for a different part of the Hogwarts Castle expansion. This one, as shown by the poster, is meant to be for the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets. This doesn't perfectly line up with the others, height-wise at least, but baseplate-wise and modularity, not city modularity like modern sets, but modularity for these sets, it works. And although it might be pointless to mention, I thought I wanted to add that this goes above Snape's potion classroom, which was previously below the Great Hall, but now it's being replaced with the Chamber of Secrets, so now it goes here. Just in case anyone was morbidly curious. So, there you have it. That concludes my review of LEGO Harry Potter 4733, The Dueling Club. Stay tuned for more LEGO Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets videos, because I am done with the Philosopher's Stone sets and now doing the 10 sets that they originally released with the Chamber of Secrets. I got 1 on the way right now, and maybe within a year or so I'll get all 10 sets done. Not making any promises, and I'm scared to say that I will finish the project by then, but I am aiming to have most, if not all of them, done within the span of a year. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all later.